In this short video clip, Nancy is talking to Dan and is trying to tell him a story of how she went to Ethan's track meet that morning. Dan is clearly having a hard time understanding what she is saying. While watching the video, notice how Nancy begins to become frustrated because he isn't understanding her story. Also notice how instead of persevering through the conversation, they just end it.
Oh, honey, Ethan did really well at his track meet today.
I can't hear you. What?
Ethan did really well at his track meet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to listen. I can't hear you. That's all.
Okay.
We will now look at some tips to use in difficult conversations such as the one you just viewed. First tip, make sure that you are not taking what might seem rude personally. Often, as we saw in the video, Dan had to interrupt Nancy to repeat herself because he did not hear her. It is important to understand that they are interrupting you because they want to hear your story. Recognize and acknowledge your spouse's frustration as well as your own in these moments, and know that it is hard for both of you. 2. While you acknowledge the frustration that you may both be feeling, it is important to encourage yourself and your spouse with words of affirmation. A little positivity and encouragement can go a long way. 3. Remember that it is hard for you as well. Don't deny it. Make sure you are getting enough support for yourself as well as for your spouse. 4. In times of frustration, it is easy to become impatient. However, as a frequent communication partner, you must learn how to be patient and forgiving. 5. Establish good communication and be honest with each other. At the end of the video, we saw how Nancy let out a sigh of frustration and sadness because instead of pursuing the conversation, they just gave up. Make sure you are able to talk with your spouse and develop trust and honesty so that you can talk about anything. A hearing loss affects a person physically as well as psychosocially. By effectively communicating with your spouse and by supporting each other psychosocially, you can help to build a stronger and more positive relationship.